Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today I've got an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick a gun and customization for me to use. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top comments for the next episode of Loadout. Today's top comment comes from the Hummus King. He says, Russian Heavy Gunner, RPK-74M, muzzle brake, Cobra sight, stubby grip. MP443, any attachment, V40 minis, ammo box, and the mortar. Now what I like about this loadout is the aesthetics. This RPK-74M with the old school wood handguard and wood stock, it just looks cool. It looks very iconic. For a long time I've been wanting the AK-47 in a modern Battlefield game just because of that old school look. It's actually a really nice look to see a gun with wood inlays on it, essentially a modern weapon nonetheless. So it is very cool to see the RPK-74M in Battlefield 4. Unfortunately, this gun has just atrocious performance. The rate of fire is abysmal, and it's going to be difficult to do well with this gun in any sort of aggressive setting. You have to absolutely play the support role, meaning you're going to stay in the back and you're going to be shooting long range and not trying to get in the front lines or take out any targets, because you're going to lose pretty much every gunfight, hands down. You just can't do enough damage with this weapon to drop your opponents before they can drop you. And you'll see in most of these clips here, I'm going to be staying in the back, not trying to play too aggressively, trying to hit most of my targets from long range, and that's where I do the best. In fact, at the end of this video I'm going to go on something like a 16 kill streak, but I'm being very, very passive, essentially sniping with the weapon. Now let's do a quick pros and cons list based on the stats from Synthic.com. You'll notice the RPK-74M has a 600 round per minute rate of fire. This is stupidly low. It wouldn't be so bad if we had the higher damage model, but because the RPK-74M doesn't shoot larger rounds, we're only going to get 25 damage maximum. So 600 rounds per minute, 25 max. You are doing stupidly low damage. It's really one of the lowest damaging output guns in the game. It's very, very hard to kill people in close quarters. Even if you have perfect accuracy and you've been anticipating somebody coming around a corner and you start shooting before they do, if they've got a nice high rate of fire weapon, you're going to lose that firefight, and there's not a lot you can do about it. On the plus side, it has really, really low recoil. In fact, its first shot recoil multiplier is 0.75, meaning its first shot is actually going to recoil slightly less than the follow-up shots. What is awesome about that is it allows you to tap fire this gun very effectively, especially if you're just doing 1 round bursts. 1 to 2 round bursts are still very effective with this weapon, and it's what allows you to snipe particularly well with it. You're not going to be doing a lot of damage, but if there's a target standing still, you can quickly 1 round burst them and take them from 100 health all the way down to 0. The netcode actually helps with this because most times people aren't noticing that they're getting hit until it's too late. Now the weapon has a 45 round magazine, which seems like it's large, but honestly you go through it pretty fast, and when you need those extra rounds you usually don't have them. It has a 3.6 second short reload time, which is kind of average, I would say. It's not particularly low. I think this gun should definitely have a faster reload, but one of the worst things about the reload in this game is that the reload animation finishes before the reload sequence is done. So you'll be done reloading your gun, you'll pop around a corner, and you can't aim down sights or fire the weapon yet because the animation is still in effect. It's only like a quarter second beyond what the actual reload time is, but it's enough to get you killed in a lot of situations if you're not used to it. The hip fire is pretty abysmal on this gun, so essentially everything is bad about this weapon aside from its accuracy and its ability to tap fire very accurately. In fact, if you weren't running this specific loadout with the Cobra sight, and don't get me wrong, I love the Cobra sight, but you could actually be effective with this weapon using a higher magnification sight of 3.4 times or even 4 times. You would be able to tap fire this weapon and take out targets from long range much more effectively, and I was kind of wanting to do that in a lot of these situations. In fact, you might be able to run with something like a heavy barrel instead of the muzzle brake on here, because you really don't need to control that horizontal recoil much because it's so low to begin with. So running a heavy barrel and a higher magnification sight would set you up much better to be a longer range sniper, and tap firing with a 45 round magazine all of a sudden becomes not such a bad thing after all. Now here I am playing on Gulf of Oman team Team Deathmatch, and this, I don't know why I'm playing it, because it really is one of my least favorite maps on some of the new maps right now. I used to love it, but because of the sandstorm, it's now just a spot fest, and so you can't even see your targets half the time. You just see a little red triangle off in the distance, and you're shooting at triangles, and they haven't gotten rid of parachuting in this map for some dumb reason. So players get to parachute in onto any building top, and there's a sandstorm raging, so you're always getting shot in the back or sniped from some really weird location that you can't anticipate. It's really unfortunate that they missed their opportunity to patch this map and actually make it a lot of fun. The destructible buildings and the actual layout itself is really good, assuming you don't play for too long and everything gets destroyed, but the sandstorm and the continued use of spawn beacons just really destroys the gameplay, in my opinion. So I don't actually recommend using the RPK-74M on this map, as there's not really a lot of long-range engagements that suit it well now that the sandstorm is here. Before, there might have been a bunch of good ones, unless I decided to parachute in on top of a building, which I'm kind of opposed to because it's just such a cheap tactic. But here we are on Gwaylin Peaks in Team Deathmatch, and this map actually is perfect for the RPK-74M. You'll see here, this is actually all going to be one kill streak, one really long kill streak. I'm going to be staying in the back, head glitching over rocks, shooting people that are really far away, and tap firing a lot, and you're going to see that I'm going to actually end up getting a lot of kills. It's not particularly exciting. I'm not in the front lines getting flanking around behind people and killing groups and groups of guys. I'm just getting a kill here, a kill there, picking them off as they come over the hills, but the accuracy of this weapon really does facilitate that. It's got the accuracy of an assault rifle and a very large magazine, so you can deal with multiple threats at longer range, providing that you're tap firing. So if you actually like the idea of playing the support class in a support class manner, where you're staying in the back lines, other people are going up and flanking and taking the initiative, and you're sort of following in behind them, throwing down ammo, putting down suppressing fire, and picking off targets at longer range, then this gun could actually really suit your playstyle. It's probably one of the best support class weapons for that specific style of play. Now, as for the rest of the features with this loadout, I did try out the Mortar a little bit. I didn't get any kills with it. You know, I've used it before and I know how to use it properly. Basically, it was good at dispersing larger groups of people, especially on this map here, but I didn't manage to pick off or kill anybody with it. So if you do have an issue with just some players that are really dug in and not letting you get up past a certain area and they're out in the open, then a mortar's a great way to try and make some ground there. It's probably best though when you're coordinating with teammates and having them push an objective just as you start mortaring it, so they start to get panicked and start to run out of cover, and that's when your teammates can pick them off and potentially gain that ground and push up at that time. But because I wasn't really playing on comms with any friends or anything during this gameplay, we didn't have that opportunity. The MP443 is a decent sidearm. It's pretty much on the same level as any other 9mm sidearm. The mini grenades are actually a great complement for this loadout because you're trying to keep your distance and you're going to need a grenade that can be thrown at long range. Now here you'll see I've actually decided to push up because I got bored enough. I got 16 kills in the back there. I just got bored. Nobody else was pushing this hill, so I push up, and what do you know? A grenade kills me. Big surprise there. So if you're the kind of player that actually likes to play each class specifically how it was designed to be played, then you might actually really like the RPK-74M. It's perfect if you want to stay in the back lines, throw down ammo for your teammates, and just support from afar. Personally, I like to be a bit more aggressive. I like to get those flanks off, so it's not really my cup of tea. As always, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave your comments down below for the next episode of Loadout, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap, signing off.